Hey guys, Solomon here. Hope you're having a great day. I thought in today's video I could share with you guys how I beat Nemo in an online blitz game recently with what I consider to be the most underrated gambit in the game of chess, that being against the Sicilian defense. Here I was playing with the white pieces in a 3-minute game. And okay, we see the Sicilian. What do I consider to be the most underrated gambit in all of chess? A3. Right now, you know, you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy, okay, and maybe I'm a little bit. I first got this from the, the Ginger GM Simon Williams, and really the whole idea is that unlike the wing gambit, we're not playing b4 right away, right? We're preparing to play the move of b4 instead of just playing it right out of the gate. There's nothing wrong with the wing gambit, but I will say by playing this little move of a3, there's a lot more trappy lines that can take place. And, okay, I mean, I would say probably if you're a beginner, right? If you're a beginner or maybe beginner, touching on intermediate, this may not be the opening for you. But if you're intermediate or advanced, this is a dangerous weapon because your opponent is going to see this move and go, okay, they're obviously wanting to play b4 and contest this pawn. They may play a move like knight c6, which, by the way, is my favorite line to go against. You may also see this move of e6, which is what Nemo played against me. In this case, I play b4, and I actually just go down a pawn, right? Why are we doing this? Well, there's a few reasons. One of them is to play this move of bishop b2 in this line, right? Threatening to capture the pawn on g7. I've had it in some games when, my opponents play a move like bishop f8, just going all the way back. In that case, okay, we're just going to develop, take control of the center, and just look to gain attacking chances. Here she plays the move knight f6. This is the move that I run into the most. And at this point, I mean, you just got to kick that knight around, right? Kick it around. Play e5, right? Against knight d5. Play c4. And there's a few different spots where this knight can go. If the knight goes on b6 or c7, okay, not e7, guys, but one of these two squares, like in the game, we now have rook a3, okay? Rook a3. Whole idea being that we are wanting to swing this rook to g3, right? Let's say, black plays a move like castle kingside. We're going to play rook g3, attack that pawn, and start throwing down our Harry the H pawn like crazy, right? And if black takes, which Nemo did, we capture back with the bishop. And notice here, we are down 3 points of material. We're down a pawn and an exchange, but black cannot castle, right? Simply not possible because of our bishop on a3. This king ain't going anywhere. And, okay, I mean, in the game we have knight c6. I do got to touch up on my theory a little bit, I think, because in the game I played the move of d4. It actually turns out that queen g4 is a much better move. Whole idea being that we don't care if black takes on e5, right? Because we're simply going to take on g7, attacking the rook, attacking the knight. Black can't play a move like rook f8 and just, think that we're going to take a piece. And, even then we have a good position. But in that case, we're just going to take the rook and we have checkmate, right? Remember, this bishop on a3 is still attacking that f8 square. So, I mean, this rook's in major trouble, right? No matter how you chop this one up. Something like knight g6. Okay, I mean, this knight is defending that rook. Let's attack the defender. Let's play bishop d3, right? Okay, I mean, we're wanting to take this knight out and then win the rook. Okay, black sees this, they play f5. Now let's move our bishop back. We're going to play bishop e2 and h5, right? Play this move, provoke f5, reroute this bishop so that this knight is pinned against the king. And here, I mean, in a situation like this, guys, when you see a good move, look for a better one. I mean, sure, we could take this knight and win a pawn back, but y'all, we're down 3 points of material, right? Winning a pawn here is not going to solve our problems, right? It's simply not. Instead of taking this knight right away and losing a bishop, why not take on h7 first, right? Now the knight is completely hanging with no defenders, 2 attackers, and is simply just going to drop, right? I don't care what you play. If you play, rook f6, queen f6, we're just going to win this knight straight out, okay? Something like queen e7, we can take that thing off the board. Here we're simply up in material. Simply up a point, and we're just going to continue by developing, right? We're going to, look to get our knight involved, both of our knights, castle. And, at the end of the day, black has a king on d8. We don't. And, I mean, both of our bishops and our queen are all very aggressive and attacking pieces. Great game for white here over a +2 advantage, in fact. And, okay, I mean, going back to queen g4. If black sees this whole idea of, oh gosh, if I take here, this is not good news for me, and they play something like g6, we play bishop d6, right? And I mean, the computer's gonna, maybe give a slight advantage to black, very small advantage. I mean, honestly, right past dead even. And all that being said, though, I think from a practical standpoint, I would much rather have white. I mean, black just has a lot of issues they got to work through, especially their dark squares, as you see highlighted, right? So all that to say, against knight c6, yeah, I played d4, not the best move. Queen g4 is simply better. Immediately attacking that pawn on g7. And okay, I mean, here from Nemo, we see knight e7. She's trying to castle her king, right? I mean, this is really the only way that you can get in front of that bishop, okay? At least at the moment, right? I mean, sure, I guess you could play something like d6, but in that case, thanks for the pawn, right? So, you know, here black trying to get their king out of that center as quick as they can. And in all honesty, I don't play this position perfectly, but I still get a great attacking game. I play queen h5. We have knight g6. And I think a lot of players here would probably just capture that rook off. But remember, guys, we're not just down, right? We're not just down a pawn, 2 pawns. We're down 3 points of material, right? We're down 3 points. We're down the exchange, and we're down a pawn. Yo, I mean, taking this rook is not the answer here, right? We're down 3 points of material, and look at all of our pieces. We got to continue playing aggressive and attacking chess. We got to checkmate this game. Case closed, right? Checkmate the king or make black lose their queen, lose a straight rook, that kind of thing. So here I continue with the move of knight f3, right? And look, I mean, if black here wants to save the rook, which Nemo did not do, I can just throw my knight into g5, right? Threatening a mate in 1 on h7. And the second that you stop this, throw in a check, right? Notice here, if king h8, we take an f7, and we have ourselves a ball game. If you take the knight on f6, okay, we take our knight on g6, right? All idea being that, I mean, our pieces are simply clobbering the king's side, and your king simply doesn't have any great protection, right? If you take this bishop, we take back with the queen. We're going to finish that game off in one move, and with a couple different options. And if you take the knight, okay, we take on f7, and this king again, it cannot defend itself, right? So, rook e8, for black here really doesn't solve things. That knight is going to jump into g5, and, black's in major trouble. Notice here as well, guys, I mean, after playing knight f3, this queen's just not a great defender, right? I mean, it can barely move. I mean, you can move to e8, right? But that's about it, because e7, got it covered, right? f6, got it covered twice. g5, we got it covered 3 times. And h4, we have covered twice. So this queen is not a defender, not a good one, right? I guess you could call this rook a defender, but I mean, what kind of defender is just being attacked by a bishop and can barely move? This knight is very awkward, right? It's not really defending anything per se very well. I mean, I guess it's, in front of the king, which is helpful, right? It kind of gets in the way of this bishop, but that's about it. Yeah, it's not defending, a key pawn or anything like that. Some of you may be wondering, okay, after knight f3, what about this move of h6, right? What's wrong with the move of h6 preventing this move? Well, it holds it off, but not for very long, right? Depending on how this thing goes. We're playing knight f6 check, right? Remember, we're already down 3. We got to throw our pieces in and got to attack that king, right? We got to checkmate that king as fast as we can. If a move like king h8, the computer likes bishop c1, not taking the rook, but kind of rerouting here, looking to capture on h6 and continue going after that black king, right? And, okay, I mean, if black takes the knight, we can simply continue with queen takes on h6, right? No rush, right? We're down 5, but it's fine because we got some major attacking pieces here and black with terrible defenders in return. We're going to be looking to take on g6 and just break this game open. And, I mean, okay, I mean, if you see something like f5 here preventing us from taking on g6, what did that square just weaken? g5. Right? And knight g5 here is a good move. It's solid. You're going to get a 1 game. Whole idea being if queen takes, I mean, we just take back. And if you don't take with the queen, we're simply going to checkmate you the next move. So thanks for the queen if we do that. Another move here, which is slightly more accurate, surprisingly, is h4. Right? Whole idea being that we're still going to play this move. Right? We're still going to play this move, threatening mate, and black's going to have to take. And then we're going to take with the h pawn. Whole idea being that our rook is also going to get into the attacking game. Right? Now, in all honesty, in a position like this, I would probably just play knight g5. I'm showing you h4 because, Stockfish showed me that. But okay, I mean, in either case, you're simply winning. If black here tries to stop knight g5, they could stop it for a moment, but we're just going to take on g6, and then guess what? We're going to play it anyways. Okay, we're going to play it anyways. We're threatening mate. If you play here, thanks for the queen. If you play here, thanks for the rook and the mate, right? And if you take the knight, we take with the h-pawn, and we have ourselves a checkmate with a piece checking the king that has not even moved, right? So that would be a beautiful finish. in the game. After knight f3, what I'm trying to show you guys is that in a position like this, when you got your bishop on a3, d3, you got your knight centralized, you got your queen on that active h5 square, it's hard for black to defend, right? Nemo here actually played the move of knight f4, but this was a mistake because I'm able to play knight f6 with check, and that's just a ball game, right? Because no matter how you take this knight, with the pawn or with the queen, white here is simply going to capture on h7, and we're going to have ourselves a game over. The one thing I will say with the delayed wing gambit, right, looking to play b4, it's a great opening. I would probably recommend it to intermediate and above. One of my students who has tried this, I wouldn't say he's a beginner player, like he's been playing for a while. I would probably say he's somewhere in between beginner and intermediate, probably knocking on the door of an intermediate player. But all that being said, at his level, a move like this, right, my private student, a move like this, his opponents kind of just look at it and go, huh, that's kind of weird, right? But at the higher levels, sometimes players will look at this move and go, well, why is white playing that? Oh, they want to play b4. Okay, let me stop that, right? Let me play a move like e6. Let me play a move like knight c6, right? And this is a move I see all the time, 2,200 plus level players playing this against me. And this is actually my favorite move to play against, right? In the first line, we had a bishop that, came all the way out. In this case, we have a knight getting lured all the way out. And, we're just simply going to take great control of the center. If something like d5, so that we don't keep kicking that knight around potentially, which, by the way, we don't even have to do. We can just enjoy our center. But, okay, if they play d5, they take back with the queen. This seems solid, but then we play knight a3. Key move. Dangerous. White is on the brink of simply winning this. And really, we're wanting to play knight b5, right? Notice a6 doesn't stop anything. We're throwing that knight in. If you take our knight, thank you for the rook, right? And I see this move knight f6 all the time. In that case, we're going to play knight b5, right? Threatening a powerhouse fork on c7, and the moment you drop back, we're playing d5, right? A move like knight e5, bishop f4, continuing to add the pressure. And if you take with the knight, we sack the queen. Whole idea being that we're going to get that powerhouse fork and simply finish this thing off. Up a point with a king on d8, right? This is one of the many things that can happen with the delayed wing gambit. Very dangerous. I would probably recommend it for intermediate to advanced, though. It's kind of weird. Sometimes memorizing theory actually works better against higher rated opponents because they know their theory. And because they know their theory, you can get them into trappy lines and situations. All that to say, no matter what level you are, the delayed wing gambit is a ton of fun, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for the month of June in 2023. If you haven't checked out the Patreon before, go make sure to check it out. We'd love to have you join the family, and we are continuing to add more and more benefits that you get, right, by becoming a member. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.